Hello there and welcome back to the JustNabz podcast with me, Nabila and...
Nabil, as always.
Hi!
Hello, how are you?
Good, and you?
Very fine, thank you. I'm super fine. So I'm super pumped and looking forward to this episode, to be fair.
Yeah, how's your leg?
Much better. I can walk on it. Still limping a bit, but I'm very, very happy. I've been recovering so fine. I think my body's near to perfection, given the time it took me to recover, so super fine.
Has your mother still been helping you out, or have you been recovering all on your own?
I've managed to start doing more things on my own.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Getting your independence.
Yeah, this is the farthest I can get as far as independence is concerned. So yes, but yeah, I mean, so much better. Thank you.
And how was your week besides recovering?
It's been hectic. Because I've been rescheduling things and doing them from home, and working from home is sometimes harder than working in place with people and everything, because scheduling things through Skype, and it doesn't always work, does it? So
I don't miss that. I don't miss that at all.
Well, human interaction is I value it a lot. So yeah, I do prefer, going to a cafe with a co-worker and working there instead of just working from home. I don't like that. Not at all.
Yeah,
how about you?
This week, it was my birthday last week.
Yes. How was it? Did you celebrate? Did you manage to do anything?
Well, my parents and my brother just took me out for lunch. Lunch. Yeah, so it was nice, and then we just came home and had cake. And that was that. And
which kind? What kind of cake?
Ooh, a red velvet cake.
Huh.
It was so good.
Never heard of it.
Red velvet. Have you never heard of red velvet?
No. I just know two cakes, really, which are the tiramisu. Do you know it? It's quite famous.
Yes, I love tiramisu.
Right. And the other one is millefoglie, which is this kind of pastry with lots of cream, and that's it. These are the only two cakes that I know.
Okay, well, you need a lesson on cakes, and you need to explore more options, because there are lots of cake options out there that you're missing out on.
Right. I will check them out. For sure. So, what's the big thing happening this week?
But you know what else is happening this week?
Go on.
You know what I'm going to say? It's race week. Not talking black, white, brown. I'm talking F1.
Yes. I mean, I miss this. God knows how much I've missed this.
I know, same. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning thinking that the first practice was today, and I got so excited. I was like, usually I just skip practice, but then I'm like, I'm watching practice today. And then it's like, oh no, it's Thursday. Oh, one more day.
Well, you have all the press conference today, so if you're interested in just seeing drivers out there, you should check the press conference.
I'm just interested in Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo's faces. So I love press days because they always post pictures of them. And
so personally, this year, the only two people I'm interested in are Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc, of course. But then yesterday,
of course,
yes, but then yesterday I saw this interview with Fernando Alonso, and he was saying that he's better than Lewis and Vettel and everyone else.
I saw that. I was like, okay, Grandpa.
No, that pumped me up so much. So I deeply wish all the best to Fernando. Because I love that. Because that's a spirit. That's how Formula One used to be. So in the 2000s, early 2000s, it was just like that. I mean, everyone throwing mud at each other, and it was kind of a bloody fight. There was very much respect. They were all respectful of each other, but at the same time, they were all fighting like tigers in a cage, and that's the Formula One I want. That fighting, that dirty fighting every single day. That's what I like. It has to be cruel.
Yeah, nowadays it's just like Lando Norris saying like some shady shit about Lewis Hamilton, and then his fans getting all up in arms, and then Lewis Hamilton fans getting all up in arms and going at each other, and the drivers are like not even involved in it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Twitter got to F1. It looks like that. I mean, this kind of drama and this kind of things. I mean, I don't like them too much. I don't know. So personally, and I know this is going to be quite unpopular. So I hate Lando Norris. That's just to make that clear. I hope he gets dropped.
He's so annoying. Yeah. I think. Oh no, I can't stand his voice, and I don't know how I'm going to handle Daniel being his teammate.
I hope he crushes him.
I'm gonna have to put up with him just to. No.
Good luck. But yeah, I can't stand him. And I really like it when teammates throw mud at each other. So if you look at Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, so their partnership, they started as friends.
Best ever.
Yeah. But then, how did it develop? It developed into being this harsh fight between them. And only the best emerged, which is Lewis. And yes, Nico won in 2016 against Lewis, but then didn't even defend his position. So to me, personally, I think Lewis was the better one between them. Because he won, he lost, and then he won again, and he defended his position. So, but then the kind of relationship, the kind of fight there was, the kind of agonism there was between them, I think it's the best thing.
Oh, it was. I felt the stress, like just being a Rosberg fan, like it was tense to watch. Like you could feel the tension through the screen. It was a lot of mind games as well between them. Yeah, and then there's conspiracies, and it was just, at the time it wasn't fun, but when you look back at it now, it was actually funny. And I just saw now that Nico Rosberg is promoting cricket pasta.
What's that?
Pasta made from crickets, bruh.
Ew. It's not pasta, is it?
Yeah, apparently crickets have like a very high protein content. So yeah, he's like.
I hope he's doing it only for the money. Not...
I hope so. No, he posted this video on Instagram and he was like, if you're wondering why I'm eating pasta, it's not just pasta. And then he like lifts a picture of a cricket and it's like, crick, crick, crick. And I'm just like, no.
Ew. Oh my lord, no. Why would you do that? First of all, it's not pasta, is it? I mean, not at all. Second of all, cricket. Oh.
And I saw the pictures of the pasta because I was like, okay, this probably looks disgusting. But it looks normal.
Imagine losing a championship to someone eating cricket pasta. I would feel pretty bad. Wow. I mean,
I love Nico Rosberg, but this is just
no, too much.
Ew.
No.
Boy,
it's too much. I think I've never asked you, how did you start watching F1?
You did ask me this a few episodes ago.
Oh, I can't remember then.
Yeah, well, anyways, I really like Nicole Scherzinger, and then, so she was dating Lewis Hamilton at the time, And then that's how I
yes.
got into it, sort of, yeah, through Nicole.
Wow.
But then I saw Nico and I was like, actually, I like this guy.
Oh my, this guy is nice. Yes. And so from there, so here's my question. Because I support a team which is hardly going to get off F1, so my kind of support is perpetual in time. But when you support a driver, a specific driver or a couple of drivers, when they get off Formula One, so when Lewis and Daniel will get off Formula One, how does it work? Do you just hope that someone else will come up, or do you just drop Formula One?
We can ask that question when the time comes.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis is... No, really, if Lewis actually manages to win this year, which I don't think he's going to, but if he manages to win this year, there's a high chance he will retire. So
I think he's going to win his 8th and then leave. If he doesn't, he'll probably stay for another season and give it another shot. And then bounce.
Yeah, but he's hardly going to do so. So next year, this whole new generation of cars getting in and everything. So Mercedes will be looking for a long-term partnership. They will not be extending him for just 1 year. So I don't think it's going to happen. And furthermore, they want George. They want to push George up to the top team. So
wait. When you say George, it reminds me of Peppa Pig. You know when she calls her brother, she's
George.
like, George.
Yeah.
Say it again.
George. Right.
Okay, continue.
No.
I love Peppa Pig, by the way.
Oh, that's cute. But yeah, they will be pushing George up to the top team. So I don't think they're going to extend Lewis. So let's just suppose that Lewis retires next year. Of course, you still have Daniel, but then 3 years more, and then Daniel will be gone at most. Who will you be supporting then?
Depends who comes into the system, or if I've lost interest in the sport by then.
So in the current breed,
I mean, I am getting older as well, and I at one point I was obsessed with football, and then that kind of died out when my favorite players left United.
Who was that? Who was it?
It was... I used to really like Chicharito.
Oh, Hernandez.
Yes. And...
You're the first Hernandez fan I've ever heard of, to be fair, in that Man United.
What?
Yes.
Oh my word, my friend and I were such huge fans of him. I even met him when he was in South Africa.
Oh,
he was really sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, he signed my homework diary for me.
Oh.
Because I didn't have anything else for him to sign.
Oh my.
And I got a really blurry picture with him. Because, at that time I still had a BlackBerry. So I was a bit disappointed. But yeah, I met him.
So is there anyone in the current breed that you would be supporting fairly in the future? So we know it's not going to be Fernando Alonso, I reckon.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe Esteban Ocon?
Oh my, I hate that guy. I hope he gets dropped from every single team. He's on pair with Nikita Mazepin, to me.
No.
Yes.
No.
And you know why? Monaco 2017. Lewis Hamilton was just pitting. He pitted. Sebastian Vettel was in the lead. Kimi Raikkonen was second. And then Lewis came out. And when he came out, I think he was like 5th or 6th. And he was charging and trying to go up the field. And then he had Ocon in front of him. And Ocon was in Force India back then. And then right after the tunnel, right before the chicane, the Nouvelle chicane, Ocon just, I don't know, he just braked there and let Lewis pass. And I hated
I
that.
remember
Yeah,
that.
I hated that. And after the race, he said, "Well, ask my boss." Talking about Toto Wolff.
I remember when he had that, when he almost had that bust up with Max Verstappen as well.
Yeah, yeah. And in Brazil 2018, when he spun Max around. And Max was all about...
I like the guy, to
No.
be fair. But I'll see who's coming in. There is maybe Pierre Gasly.
Yeah.
I read his piece
Yeah, I read it
on
too.
Antoine, and it was really sad actually.
Yeah.
And his whole story about getting dropped from Red Bull, and I was like, shame. So maybe him
Don't think...
going forward.
Does Red Bull seem like a healthy environment to you? Because everything,
No,
yeah,
definitely not.
every single time I hear about them, it's the most toxic environment I could ever think of.
Yeah. And I think that's why Daniel left as well.
It was a wise choice. So everyone was throwing mud at Daniel when he left because it was going to Renault and it was a downgrade and everything. But then I actually grew to support that decision. I mean, I would have done the same. It was...
Yeah. No, when you work in a toxic environment and you get out, you see things so much clearer.
Yeah.
And even if he wasn't as successful as he was with Red Bull, I mean, he still got 2 podiums, but still, he was a lot happier.
Yeah. And yes, I do agree.
Like, don't stay in an environment just because there's a certain pressure on you to maintain a reputation or whatnot. If you're not happy, just leave.
I absolutely agree. Because Red Bull have this thing about being centered on a single driver. They were like that with Sebastian, and now they're doing that with Max. And who knows who in the future? Maybe Yuki Tsunoda when he will get to the top team.
Ooh, I would support him, actually.
Yuki? He's a good lad.
I'll see how he does this season, and if I like him,
he'll do very well.
Maybe he's... Yeah.
I think he's going to be quite good. And
he's so cute. He's so small and cute. Like, I just want to...
How tall is he?
Pick him up and put him in my pocket.
How tall
I don't know,
is
like
he?
1.5 something?
Yuki Tsunoda height. He is... Okay, so 5 feet. Why do I have in meters? Is 159.
Oh, he's shorter than me.
How tall are you?
I'm not going to tell you how tall I am, but it's over 1.6.
Wow. Oh my lord. It's so cute. He's a puppy.
That is very cute.
Yeah. Oh my.
Also, have you watched Drive to Survive?
No, I've been avoiding
the
that
new
thing.
season. I watched the first 2 episodes. Yeah, but it's not... I enjoyed the first season. Second season was absolutely boring. I ditched that. And then I've ditched season 3 as well. Because I'm just like... why are you creating unnecessary drama? And focusing... I was just like, no. And also, I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial. But I think Grosjean is milking his whole accident. Have I been biased because I don't like him by thinking that?
So, personally, I like Grosjean a lot.
You do?
Yes, he's a nice guy. As a human being, not as a driver, I don't think... I mean, he's fast and everything, and he's been driving a wreck of a car in the last 2 years, so his performance couldn't show. But I do think he is maybe pushing it a bit too far. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I'm no one, but I wouldn't... if I had that kind of accident, I wouldn't be talking about it. not at all. And let alone,
Yeah, make jokes about it also, and
yeah.
I'm just like, stop now. Stop, it's enough.
So I don't know. I don't want to sound too harsh because I do believe him, of course, when he talks about his what was going through his mind in those 20 seconds and thinking about his kids and everything. That's proper. That's completely fine. But at the same time, like releasing 100 interviews on the very same topic and allowing Netflix, Formula One to push that footage time and time again, it kind of seems to me, and I don't want to be harsh, but it kind of seems to me like he's trying to build a brand because after Formula One, you need to have a brand.
Yes, you need to.
Yeah. And
I actually I was in a clubhouse what do you call them?
Rome?
Group room?
Yeah.
Yes, a room. The other day with an ex-sports player,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about how difficult it is to adjust to life after sport because now you need to focus on building your brand, like
Mm-hmm.
you need to stay relevant afterwards, which is interesting. And I think like in future, I've always wanted to be a person who manages an athlete. Weird, I know. But it's something I've always wanted to do, like be an athlete's manager, or and then when social media became a thing, I was like, okay, I actually want to run a social media for an athlete. And I think being that person for an ex-athlete would also be cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think building a brand is for an athlete is quite easy when the athlete is actually competing, but keeping that brand afterwards is so hard. So unless you have a big name, so for instance Schumacher, that's a brand that's going to live through generations. Same goes for Ronaldo or Messi or some others with this kind of huge name. I mean tennis, Nadal, Federer, Djokovic. These are brands that are going to stay there for the rest of our times. But then when you have a even just a more normal one like Nico Rosberg, it is a bit hard for Nico to maintain his brand because yes, he's a world champion, but he's not known as he would want to. So building his brand is maybe a bit harder.
I think he's doing it quite well, besides the whole cricket pasta thing. I mean, he's very involved in this whole save the planet thing and pushing his
Now,
environmental
yes,
um, agenda. And then also he has that team.
yeah,
Um,
in the
what's it
Extreme
called?
series, I don't know what.
Yes, the Extreme
Hmm.
Extreme E. Yes,
But
there's
yeah,
a Rosberg team.
now, but if you remember in 2017, 2018, when he used to be kind of a pundit and going and talking about other drivers and sparkling drama for things he shouldn't be saying, like is someone's career over? Is that something? I mean, that was milking, trying to milk something to have your brand known furthermore through other fan bases. So I think that is difficult. And getting back to Grosjean, I think he needed that to build his brand.
Mm.
I mean,
You
he
take one
needs,
thing and you
yeah,
run with it.
yeah. I wouldn't do it, but if it's for building your brand, I can understand why. I mean, he's got life ahead of him, a whole life. He's young, sportsman like Fernando Alonso or Kimi Raikkonen or Grosjean. I mean, Kimi now looks so old, but he's 40. He's still got like at least another 40 years of his life. He's in the middle of his life, so he's still young compared to other workers along the globe
Mm.
around the globe. So yeah, I think if it's for the brand, that's just fine. But yeah, I mean, the question I asked you about who you're going to support is because I had the same problem in tennis. So I'm a huge Federer fan, and I was just saying, Roger had a huge, he had to deal with the knee surgery and everything, and he just got back, and it's going fine, but we all know he's going to retire soon. And I was like, okay, but who am I going to support? I cannot watch tennis without supporting someone. And then this young man, he's 19, he's Italian, so yes, and he's being, he's maybe the best talent I've ever seen in any sport. And he's been coming up, and I'm so pumped because he's 19, so he's still got at least another 20 years of his career. So I'm super excited.
What's his name?
Yannick Sinner. Yeah, you hardly know him, but he's been playing so good, and if anyone is a tennis fan, they will know him because he's given even Rafa Nadal a hard time on clay, which is Nadal's preferred surface. So yeah,
I think all the sports people we grew up with are now coming to, they've passed their climax and coming towards the end of their careers, or handing over the reins to new generation, like with Serena Williams and Naomi.
yeah.
I think, yeah, this girl she's also incredibly talented, and she's looking like the future of tennis. So I think, like, slowly it's a younger generation that are starting to rise up now in football, tennis, Formula One.
But can you accept
We
that?
are in that shift.
Can you accept that? Can you accept that? Because I'm having a hard time accepting that the people I grew up with are slowly,
Yeah,
getting
it's
off.
it's weird when you see players you watch growing up becoming coaches and managers. I mean, Steven Gerrard, Lampard, Solskjaer, oof, all of them, like,
Yeah,
they were players when I started watching football, and now they're managers, and I'm just like, I'm not ready for this.
yeah. Neither am I, to be fair, and I cannot accept
Yeah, I
that.
mean, all I've known was Serena Williams, Roger Federer.
I've never liked Serena Williams.
I liked her.
Now, I mean, she's a good tennis player, of course, but I've never liked her as a person.
Oh, I liked her personality. I think she's a strong woman,
She is.
and the media just paints her as this angry black woman with who just can't keep her emotions under control, but I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, I mean that is completely fine, and you can find that in men's sports, women's sports, white, black. I mean that is just being human. If you look at men's tennis, if you look at Nick Kyrgios, which is this Australian tennis player, he's the most reckless tennis player I've ever seen. So it's not about being man or woman or black or white. It's I don't like it, regardless of who it is that is
Mm,
doing so. So
yeah, but I think when it comes to media, it's just women and any my I don't want to use the word minority, any other race, any non-white, are more susceptible to being painted as a bad guy, or like it just takes one incident for the media to spin it and make it seem like this person is a problem. And I've always found that in sport, it's just it's slowly starting, very slowly, like snail pace, slowly starting to shift. But I think, just, if a person is a horrible person, it should be this, like, doesn't matter what race they are, just, be unbiased in your reporting, basically.
yeah,
Or if they're,
I
just
think, but
unbiased
I
reporting.
think that's a utopia though, because at the end of the day, every single reporter is a human being, so he's never, or he or she, they're never going to be unbiased, are they?
I know. I mean, if I was a reporter, I'd be like, Lewis Hamilton did it, did Daniel Ricciardo did. But F. Lando Norris, this kid is annoying.
Yeah. So the best way,
But yeah,
to do
I
it.
get it. But ideally, it would be nice to have unbiased reporting in
Yeah.
sport.
I mean, I think the best way to do it is, since you are, for instance, a huge Ricardo and Hamilton fan and Norris hater, maybe like tell you, okay, Nabila, please report on Williams or Haas, which are two teams you hardly care about.
Yeah.
So you are going to be maybe unbiased. They both not challenge Hamilton, so you wouldn't have
Yeah.
any reason not to, to be harsh on them. So yeah, but I don't think we're ever going to have unbiased reporting. If you even go to the Formula One official website on the news section and you read a couple of articles, you find that yes, it sounds unbiased, but then you will always find some bits that are slightly biased. And it's completely normal, because if you're passionate about a sport, you are going to report on that sport in a specific way. I could never ever be unbiased in Formula One. For me, it's just Ferrari, and that's it. And everyone else is just
Yeah,
irrelevant.
well, which is why we need more um diverse voices. So like, yeah, I don't know, it's not a problem that can be solved actually.
No, not at all. Never, never.
The problem that can be solved though is what and how people say things. Because there was a whole incident with someone the other day who said something about Hamilton, and people it came across as racist basically, and she was like, but that's not what I meant, and I can't control how people interpret my words. And I mean, if you're going to say something that implies it was basically, and then the apology was just so, it was just her CV, like all her achievements and all the times she wasn't racist to prove that she wasn't a racist. It was hardly an apology. I was like, first of all, who are you? Like, okay, just delete your tweet. And at this point, if you this is what your apology is going to be, like, don't even apologize. Also, yeah, it was a mess.
Well, I mean, there's a saying that um, you are responsible for what you're saying, not for what other people perceive, which is randomly true at times. But then, yes, I mean, sometimes you have to take into account some specific sensitivities, but at the same time, you cannot take too many into account, because otherwise you wouldn't be saying anything. Because every single time you say something, that is going to be offensive to someone to some extent. So if she doesn't, I don't know. I don't know what the tweet was. I have no idea what was said. I had no idea about this drama up until now. But if
I don't even, yeah, it's not even, it's, I just wanted to, yeah,
yeah, no,
put it
sure.
out there, but
But
I don't
if
want to talk about
no, no,
it.
no, sure. Let's not even bring it up. But if she didn't want to say that, that means that she doesn't have anything to apologize about, to apologize for. So yeah, I mean, that's just Twitter. You know what I would like? I got off Twitter for 1 week, and I was so fine with that. To be fair,
Yeah,
and Twitter is toxic, and you know
it
how,
is.
yeah, and you only get the idea of how toxic it is when you get off it for a week, and you feel so good not having to get triggered about things, and you no drama, no things like that, and you just focus on your life, on the people around you, and
Yeah.
things you really care about in real life, and you get the idea of how toxic that platform is. So yeah.
I mean, to a certain extent, it is a make-believe world. Um, and people just, they can't draw a line between reality and what information they consume on the site. And people say things they wouldn't say in real life, and people live a life on there that they're not even living in real life. And people think that they always have a point to prove. Oh, I am an F1 fan. Oh, I do have money. Oh, I do follow the news. I am an activist. I am woke. I am not racist. I am
trying to prove
a
yourself.
feminist. Like, just, you don't have to say everything all the time. You don't have to have an opinion on every single thing. It's so draining. If those are your values, yes, put it out there once in a while. Just inform people, like, okay, but don't push. Like, you don't feel like you always have to say something about something all the time. Sometimes it's okay to just joke and just banter, and people can't expect other people to just, oh, look, someone said something racist. Why aren't you saying something about it? It's not that person's job. We're all human beings. We have our own lives, and we don't have to address every issue on social media.
Absolutely.
And then I also want to talk about something else that really triggers me, is this whole business of showing off your F1 merch on Twitter. First of all, this shit is expensive, and good for you if you can afford it. Go, feel free, buy whatever you want. But people are spending exorbitant amounts of money for, first, it's not even that great quality, not even environmentally friendly. Anyways, and then you like come on here like, I'm a hardcore F1 fan, been watching it for a year, okay, or 6 months, 2 months, and then you don't actually realize, and we're all guilty of this, flaunting or flexing on social media when you have something. I know it's nice to show it off, but I feel like there's a line with that, because you have to take in consideration that there are other fans out there or other people out there who aren't living a life that you are living, or can't afford the things that you can. And sometimes they feel pressurized into needing or wanting things that, this person has this, or I also need this. It's the same with influencers, forcing you to buy junk that you can't afford or you don't need. So that was just, I needed to get that off my chest. Just be aware, or sensitive to the fact that there are people out there who don't have access to what you do, or can't afford, or they thinking, oh my god, this person is spending 100 euros on a t-shirt when my family is living off this amount. Or it's just, be nice, just be a little bit considerate on social media.
I don't agree with that. Because that same thing goes for holiday. So for instance, you go to England and you post a picture of you.
I know, that's why I say we all are guilty of it.
Yeah, so if the thing is, of how I see it, there's always going to be, and unfortunately so, there's always going to be someone who's in a worse position than you. So every single one of us shouldn't be posting
but also,
anything about
I mean, there's a fine line between sharing an experience, sharing your experience, and just letting a person live vicariously through you. Like, you're not.
Okay, but wait, isn't buying merch an experience? So as far as I see it, when I buy merch, it's an experience for me, because I'm not buying that t-shirt because it's high quality. I'm buying it because there's a prancing horse on it. So
Yeah,
it's
but the way
literally
people
just the
do it, it's
experience.
like, oh, I'm a better fan than you because I have this,
Of course,
this,
you're not a better fan. Yeah, I do
exactly.
agree with
So
that.
that's
You're
my
not.
issue with it. It's like people are like, oh, if you don't have this and this and this, you're not actually a real fan. But who
No,
are
no, no, no,
you
no.
to say when you've come
Not
into
at
the
all.
sport so late? Like, it's the same with people who saying, oh, you're not a fan because you don't know the history of the sport. Like, why are we gatekeeping things? Like, just
Yeah, of course.
be
That
like,
doesn't
if you
make
want to
you.
buy your merch, buy it, but you don't have to post the prices on it also and the tags and, oh my god, I have like 15 deliveries coming. Like, just post yourself in your kit, whatever, but don't make it like a, oh my god, I just bought it now. And yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it
it was
doesn't make
just
you
a
a better
vent.
fan.
It was
No,
just a
no, no,
vent. I
sure.
had no point to that, but it was just something that was bothering me. I don't care because
No
if I
worries.
like merch, I'm gonna buy it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy ugly merch just because it's of my favorite drivers. Like Ricardo's, not all his merch is nice. Like some stuff is really ugly, so I'll buy what I like if I
Mm-hmm.
if I have the means to do it at that time.
Of course, of course. No, no, no. Yes, I completely agree. You don't. You're not a better fan if you got merch. As you're not a better fan if even going to a Grand Prix, for instance. It doesn't make you a better fan. It makes you a person who got to experience to have a specific
Mm.
experience. But you're not a better fan because I
Yeah.
know
I mean, I do
people
like
who are.
I like watching people's F1 experiences because I know it's not going to ever be in my country anytime soon, so I don't get to experience that. But it's nice to watch what other people experience
Mhm.
at a Grand Prix. I'm like, "Oh, cool. This is how it is on the other side."
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been buying so much merch as of late. Yeah, as you know, I follow many sports, and yes, so the quality of the merch is not there, to be fair. So I've had this Ferrari T-shirt, and yes, I mean it's fine. I like it, and I actually go out with it,
I'll
but it's
give
not.
Mercedes kudos because their merch is actually really good quality. I still have stuff from 2014 that is like still tip top condition. I mean, it's a bit
Yeah, of
faded, but
course.
you'll never say
Hmm.
that it's so
No,
old.
yeah, but what I mean when I say it's not good. It's not that it's not good quality, but for the price, I know T-shirts
Yeah.
which cost less but have a better duration. So it's much of it. It's branding and it's sponsors, and it's
Mm.
completely fine because that's how Formula One works. But yeah, I mean, I
I know.
completely agree.
I also don't like the merch with all the sponsors on. I'm like, why am I paying to advertise your brand? You should be paying me to advertise your brand. That's one thing. I'm like, all these sponsors, I'm like, I look like a walking billboard.
Oh my.
I just want it to say, I just want people to know I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan. I don't care about the other sponsors on it.
Oh yeah. Um, I actually don't mind sponsors. Um, I'm
If
quite
they have
fine
a
with
nice
those.
logo, I don't mind.
Yeah,
And if it's one
yeah,
or two
maybe.
sponsors, it's fine. But when it's like the entire branding down the side, I'm just like, okay, no, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
but that's never going to change because of course sponsors are there for a
Yeah,
reason, and
yeah,
they, yeah.
obviously. I know. I always look at it from the other side because I did study branding, so it's kind of like it's always at the top of my mind. Every time I see
Mm-hmm.
a sponsorship or advert, or I always look at it from the brand's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
Absolutely.
yeah, my mind just, and I just think out loud, and my family will be like, but who you talking to? I'm just like, no, I'm just thinking out loud.
So, to wind wind down this episode, your predictions for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Let's start this thing, the predictions.
I don't
And
even
the
know.
predictions, yeah, the predictions for the year. So let's start with the predictions for the year. Who's going to win driver and who's going to win the constructors?
Okay. So constructors, I think it's Mercedes. Okay, so this is realistic predictions, right? Not who I
Wait,
want.
give me the top three constructors and top three
Okay,
drivers.
but it's okay, so this realistically, it's Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari.
Right.
Who I want is Mercedes, McLaren, and I don't care who's third. And then
Now you have to give me a
realistically,
third. You have to give me the third. There's no, I don't care.
um, the drivers, realistically, Hamilton. I'm gonna say Verstappen and then Bottas. And who I want is Hamilton, Ricardo. Don't care who's third. What about you?
So I predict drivers: Verstappen, Hamilton, and Charles Leclerc.
Okay, interesting.
Constructors: I believe Mercedes. Oh, wait. No, Red Bull. Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari. So the reason I'm saying Red Bull is because in the long run, Perez is going to be more consistent than Bottas. So the
Yeah.
second driver will decide the constructors' championship this year. That's how
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel.
true. I forgot Red Bull have Perez now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he might.
I've got good expectations for Sergio.
Yeah, I think he'll do well in that Red Bull. He
Yeah.
deserves it
So
also.
I think Red Bull is going to win the constructors. As for the drivers, I don't know. I'm going to say Verstappen, but it's a bit of a long shot. So maybe Hamilton and Verstappen second, but like split by 5 to 10 points.
Yeah. And then for Bahrain, I don't have very high expectations for Mercedes. I don't
Give
think they're
me
gonna
the
win in
pole
Bahrain.
position. Give me the top three, the pole position, and then the podium.
Verstappen on pole.
Okay.
Verstappen probably, if he doesn't screw it up, either Verstappen, I'm gonna say Perez in first position. So it's gonna be either of the Red Bulls. Second would be Hamilton, and third, a Red Bull. Fourth is Bottas.
Okay.
I never have any expectations for him.
To me, pole position is Max Verstappen, and podium is going to be Max, who's also going to take fastest lap. So it's a Grand Shalom. Um, and second is going to be Lewis. And third one, Charles. The reason is I don't think Bottas is going to do anything in the Bahrain Grand
Yeah.
Prix. And
Actually, Charles, maybe, because he does really well at this track.
yeah, and also Perez still needs to get to adapt to the car. So I think Perez
Mm,
is going to kick in around the Silverstone Grand Prix.
maybe,
That's
yeah.
when Sergio is going to. I mean, I think in the first qualifying he'd be point 0.4 off Verstappen, at least, if not 0.5. But then he will start to close the gap as the season goes on. And so I think podium is going to be Max, Lewis, and Charles.
Okay, nice diverse one. Um, I think, no, I mean, who I want on the podium is Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
Please, McLaren, do something. I really want to see him in second or even first position somewhere in one of the Grand Prix this season. I need to see Daniel Ricciardo on the podium. Any last words? That was my final words of this episode.
Oh, well, last question then. Well, good luck to you. We will find ourselves arguing this year in Formula One, I know that. But yeah, good luck. This is the first and last time I'm going to say that. And let's go with the song of the week. And for me...
Song of the week.
For me,
today is 5 years of my favorite album ever.
Which
Mind
one?
of Mine by Zayn. The one I asked you to listen to.
Oh, yeah, I did. No.
So happy 5 years to that album. I'm listening to that today. But my song of the week is gonna have to go to... It's going to... I can't decide. Chloe and Halle, 80/20. Yes, I've been listening to that this week, but amongst other things. But I'll give my song of the week to that.
Fair enough. For me, it's Waving Flag. It was so popular.
The World Cup song?
Yes.
Yes.
It was so popular in 2010.
Yes, that was the South African World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. So yeah, tribute to you.
Yes, I love that song as well. South African World Cup was the peak for me. Oh, I loved that year. The songs, the teams, the team who won, the players.
Spain? You were supporting Spain?
Yes, I was supporting Spain.
Oh my! So during the final, I was in the airport in Madrid, waiting for a connection flight, and at some point, all the airport started to scream, but it was like gradual, going from one side to the other side, and people started screaming, and wow, that was a unique experience.
It must have been such an electric atmosphere.
Yeah, and the Madrid airport is so huge. Was it Barcelona? No, maybe it was Madrid, but it's huge, that airport, and everyone was laughing and screaming and celebrating. That's been a unique experience, to be fair. So yeah,
I would have loved to have been at the game, but I was still in college, so I wasn't earning yet, and so I was broke. I had no money to go, but I would have loved to have gone.
Yeah, tickets are pricey as far as the World Cup is concerned. But yeah, I mean that's one experience I would like once in a lifetime. Going to a Grand Prix, yeah.
So for me, in terms of sporting events, a World Cup final would be one, and a Grand Prix.
Which one?
Anyone.
Okay, fair enough. Oh well, so we shall say thank you for joining us. As always, send us all your feedback, anything. We're always here, happy to talk. And yeah, have a marvelous and amazing weekend, and we will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.